So if you guys have been following my channel for any length of time, you probably already know that I really enjoy thrifting. I often share my thrift hauls with you with my Come Thrifting series. But today I wanted to share my favorite things to shop for and look for when I go thrifting. So first up in the section of apparel, I usually seek out linen pieces. So my favorite things to do would be like linen tops. Sometimes you can find linen skirts that you can have altered, or you can get like linen pants that you could hem into shorts. I find linen is just like a timeless fabric. Often can't tell that it came from a thrift store, and they usually come in like pretty neutral colors. I also love to look for any sort of like Levi's denim. Usually I like to size up a couple of sizes, and I'll look also in the men's department for some Levi's denims because they work great as like, you can either, if they fit you well, use them as like jeans and maybe cut them to length that you need, or you can use them and cut them into shorts, because like Levi's denim is just like the best denim to me, and it's always just like, it's timeless to me. Levi's denim is just timeless. I also love to look through the jackets. That's probably why I have so many jackets. So I live in Minnesota. I've said this a million times, but we have all 4 seasons here, and so a lot of times, like pretty much half the year, I exclusively live in jackets. So sometimes it's just nice to have a little variety in my jackets. And a great place to look is at a thrift store. You can often find really cool jackets that are name brand and gently used and are still in style, and you know, that you would wear. For example, I've been looking for like a nice kind of like rain type of coat, and I found one at the thrift store a couple months ago, and I wear it a ton this spring. It's awesome. And then kind of in general, when I look for clothes, I look for things that are in neutral colors, because to me that's going to be I'm going to get the most longevity out of clothes that are in neutral colors, like whites, creams, browns, blacks, tans, grays, those navies, and then some like olive khaki colors. Another thing that I learned from an Instagrammer that I follow, Lindy from Thimble and Cloth, is to buy clothes that fit you well but are ugly, and then you can cut them apart and use them as a pattern to make new clothes. So I did this recently with a little dress for Harriet, and now I need to find some stuff for myself so that I can make myself maybe like a cute skirt or top or dress. What I'd recommend when you're looking for those is to find a piece that's maybe in similar fabric as to what you'd be making. So like cotton items, maybe linen items, something along those lines. So what I would avoid is buying like a tight jersey dress and then you're planning on making a linen dress from it, because it's just not going to like translate in the pattern as well. So try to find something that's in a maybe similar fabric but ugly, and it fits you well, and you know, you can always adjust the length or sleeve length or something like that, but overall the like body part fits you well, and you can repurpose that into a pattern and make yourself some clothes. And then I always like to look for baby clothes, because I have a baby, and baby clothes are expensive, they grow out of them quick. So whenever I can find stuff secondhand, I always look in the baby clothes section for Harriet. Another section that I always kind of like skim through would be like the blankets and sheets section. I recently found a really cute set of sheets that I shared with in a recent Come Thrifting with me, and it's like this adorable like 70s floral pattern that I want to repurpose and use as actual fabric. So while I'm not using them for their intended purpose of sheets, it's a great place to maybe find a fabric for a project or DIY or whatever it is. And then blankets, I just like to look for blankets that I would want in my house. And then I'd obviously wash it before I'd use it. But yeah, blankets and sheets, I love to look there. Another thing that I pretty much like love in general right now is anything that's like rattan, cane, or wicker. So I always like look for that material when I'm looking through like home goods stuff. Just my jam at the moment in like interiors. Usually one of my first stops within the like home goods section of a thrift store is going to be like the baskets or boxes. There's so many baskets in the world, and I love to always look for baskets in thrift stores. Now with the kid, I didn't used to have so many baskets. Now I do, because I'm like, well, put these toys in here and there, and it's just nice to kind of have like a little catch-all for a few things, whether it's in her room, scattered throughout the rest of our house, to just like quick pick up, put toys away, or maybe it's like a basket tray that she uses and plays with or something like that. So I always like to go look in the baskets in the thrift store. And then I also like to look for like boxes, like little wood boxes. I don't have a ton of them, but sometimes they're nice, and they just can kind of contain and store things, especially if you are limited in space and you can't like put things away. Having like a cute little box with a cover, you can usually kind of like stack some, and then they still look cute if they have to be out and seen, but you know that it's storing things inside. Like, I don't know, I can't even think of anything off the top of my head. For example, what's in my house is over here on my mantle, this little box right here. That is a little wood box that actually has the like little letters for like one of those little felt letter boards stored in there, because I don't want to leave them in Harriet's room or in anywhere that she could possibly get them, but I don't have like a ton of storage space to hide them, and they fit perfectly in that. You'd never know. Just a nice little decor piece on my mantle. Another thing I am a sucker for at the thrift store is pottery. I love pottery. I absolutely love it. So I use pottery, like I found one for my utensils that I put next to my stove, so like wooden spoons, a spatula, that type of thing. Bowls, anything that like is like a strainer pottery thing. I found some of those the other day at a thrift store, and those are great for like berries. And you can really use pottery in like so many ways, whether it's like storing your fruit in for a bowl, or you can make a cup into a vase for flowers and things like that. I just really love pottery. I think it's timeless, and it like fits into the aesthetic of my home. I always like to give a quick scan of the furniture at a thrift store. I don't really need any furniture at the moment, so I kind of haven't been looking a bunch there lately, but I love to look for furniture that can be upcycled. It's got good bones, but it may be ugly and just needs like a coat of paint or new hardware, even maybe new feet on the piece, whatever it is. Finding furniture or looking for furniture that I can upcycle and it would be useful still in my house is something that I used to do more often. Now I just don't really need any extra furniture, but I used to always look through the furniture. And I'm a sucker for chairs. God, I love chairs. I don't know why. Another thing that I like to look through and look at, or I have in the past, and kind of like a tip I guess I'm maybe passing on, would be to look at all the like camping type enamel stuff. Those can be great to use for like pots for plants, even like catch-all baskets. That's just like a different texture than maybe like a woven basket, and I just think that those kind of enameled speckled pots can be really cool. A lot of times you can find like, you know, like a big pot, or you can find like little ones, and then sometimes you can even find like what am I trying to say, like a pitcher, and you can use it as like a pitcher. You could use it as a vase in your house. I just think that they're really cool and just kind of adds another texture into your home and space. Another place I like to look when maybe I need a new piece in my kitchen supply set of dishes or whatever it is, I try to look at a thrift store first. So like, you know, but I like to look and get either things that are like ceramic or glass. I try not to buy plastic from the thrift store. It weirds me out. But like a glass measuring cup or glass bowls or dishes, cups, things like that are a great way to buy secondhand. And there are so many cups, dishes, bowls, kitchen supplies out there in the world, so it's nice if you can maybe source something secondhand first. And the last few things kind of in the accessories category is I love to look for shoes. Sometimes there's really ugly shoes at the thrift store, but I have found a few gems here and there, so it's always worth a peek for me. I also really like to look at the bags. I don't really need any bags right now, but it's like there's so many bags out in the world. Again, I love to look for like woven ones. like summery type of bags, tote bags if you need, something like that. And then lastly, during the cold winter months here, I like to look for, or like look through the scarves, hats, and mittens for winter wear. There's, again, such a great place to buy something secondhand first before buying new. So I hope this gives you some inspiration next time you go to the thrift store and are maybe overwhelmed with like, where do I even start or look, or do I need that? That type of thing. These are kind of my go-to areas and pieces that I look for and buy at a thrift store when I need. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video, and I will see you in my next one. And if you haven't seen some of my Come Thrifting With Me videos, go take a look. I'll leave the playlist to that in the description below. Thanks so much for watching. See you later. Bye.